When you begin designing conditional access policies, you're not just flipping switches. You're crafting the rules that define how your entire organization accesses its digital world. To get this right, you need to think holistically, strategically, and with clarity. Let's walk through what you need to consider. Before you create a single policy, you need to know who your users are and how they work. Are you dealing with employees, partners, contractors, admins, or service accounts? Map out which applications they access. Whether it's Microsoft 365 line of business apps or on-prem systems federated to the cloud. Also think about where and how they're signing in. Are they using corporate laptops, personal phones, unmanaged devices, or connecting from unknown networks? Once you understand your identity landscape, you're in a much better position to apply relevant and effective conditional access. You need to get really clear on what you want to achieve. Are you trying to enforce MFA to reduce identity risk? Do you want to restrict legacy authentication or block access from untrusted countries? Are you targeting compliant device access to protect sensitive data? When you define your objectives early, your conditional access policies become purposeful. Without a clear goal, your setup may become inconsistent or overly complex, which will frustrate users and make security harder to manage. Not every user or app needs the same level of protection. You want to prioritize your most sensitive targets. Start by locking down privileged users, like global admins or application owners, and then move to business-critical apps, such as HR or finance platforms. Use Entra ID groups, administrative units, or roles to organize your users. By segmenting your approach, you protect what matters most without overwhelming low-risk users with excessive prompts. Conditional access gives you many conditions to play with, but each one adds complexity. You'll want to decide when and where policies should be enforced. Should you trigger based on device platform, geographic location, client app, like mobile versus browser, sign-in risk? The key is to align conditions with the actual threat surface. For example, maybe you allow seamless access from your corporate network, but challenge logins from overseas or unmanaged devices. Be precise, but don't overdo it. Once your conditions are set, it's time to define what action to take. Should users be required to perform MFA? Should access be blocked altogether? Or maybe only allow access from compliant devices? Don't treat all users the same. MFA may be required for admins or sensitive apps, but it may be overkill for internal public resources. Strive for a balance between security and productivity by tailoring controls to the risk and sensitivity of each scenario. Never apply conditional access policies blindly. Use report-only mode to simulate the impact first. This gives you insights into what would happen if you enforce the policy without actually interrupting users. Study the sign-in logs. Identify patterns. Fix issues. Once confident, roll out to a pilot group before going organization-wide. This careful approach helps you avoid user lockouts and minimize disruption. Things can and do go wrong, so you must prepare for that. Always create emergency access, break glass accounts. These should be excluded from all conditional access policies and tightly secured. You'll only use them if your main access routes fail. Monitor them. Protect them with long, unique passwords, and limit who has visibility. These accounts are your insurance policy, and you'll be grateful they exist when you need them most. Conditional access isn't a set-it-and-forget-it feature. You need to revisit your policies often. As your business evolves, new apps, remote teams, third-party users, your policies must adapt. Use Microsoft Entra's built-in recommendations and telemetry to identify what's working and what isn't. Make continuous improvement part of your access governance. In security, Stagnation leads to exposure, so stay agile. So, what's your key takeaway? When you design conditional access policies, your goal is to strike the right balance. Strong protection without blocking productivity. So, take your time. Understand your environment. Start small. Test deeply. Build policies that grow with your business. You're not just securing access, you're enabling secure work anywhere, anytime, for everyone you trust.